What up, world? Established Rich coming right back at you. And today, we got to talk about Memphis Bleek defending JayZ's Target deal and why that Power 105 interview made him look bad. Bleek walked in there trying to protect JayZ. He walked out making the criticism sound more valid. Everybody knows that JayZ knows how to make money. The question was whether a black billionaire should get to step over a black consumer boycott and then have his people talk down to the community for questioning. That's where Bleek messed up. He didn't sound like he was explaining a business move. He sounded annoyed that regular black people even had the audacity to question JayZ. And that is a terrible look when the whole brand is built off the culture.
Obsessed with JayZ. This is Flex's new thing now. You know
Everybody is. I don't know what happened. The whole internet done turned into his blame Rock Nation is JayZ fault. So
it definitely, a lot of people be bringing that. You want to know what I feel like it is? Because he doesn't talk to nobody. But I'm not blaming Ho for nothing.
I don't want him to. If he did, they'll just make up more. I'm glad he don't talk to none of these, man. They don't deserve to hear nothing from the God. Like, in my words, these, man. That's why I'm out here.
And when you say that, in what regard, like they don't, no, not that. Why, when you say they don't deserve to hear from the God,
they don't deserve, man. Y'all all here making up stories and making up your own analogies.
Wouldn't that be better that you
explanation for?
The problem is bigger than one line. The problem is his attitude. Bleek sounded like activism was some little internet issue that needed to move out the way because JayZ had product to sell. That's why people reacted so strong. The Target boycott was about black consumers using their dollar to push back after Target pulled away from DEI commitments. You may agree with the boycott or disagree with it, but you cannot act like it means nothing. That is people trying to use economic pressure the same way communities have always used economic pressure when they was trying to make a point. So when Bleek waves that off, it don't sound like hustle. It sounds like corporate loyalty. And that is what made his ass sound ridiculous. Hip-hop didn't get powerful because it protected corporate feelings. Hip-hop got powerful because it talked from the side of people who got ignored. So when a Rockefeller representative sits on a black radio station and talks like the community pushback is inconvenient, people are going to hear that a certain way. Bleek could have defended JayZ without disrespecting the people's concern. He could have said, I understand why people feel that way, but I think JayZ is playing a different game. That would have sounded like he at least respected the people questioning. That would have sounded like he respected the people that were listening. Instead, he made it sound like the money ends the conversation. And money should never end a conversation about principle.
Because you are a major figure.
Nah, he ain't no major figure. He is the figure.
Okay, so that's just like if I'm a president.
Yes.
Tell me when they come up here and chop it up with y'all. They're not
a part of our culture.
But listen, do they give y'all the inside of the new car dropping?
Yes.
Oh my God.
It's called a keynote. They stand.
You got it last night. There was some keynotes last night. This whole weekend.
There was some keynotes last night.
You feel me?
Pharrell came out and gave a real keynote last night. That was great.
You feel me?
But what I'm saying now, this enters into the only pushback I got when it comes to we can't always imitate the other side, right? You can't become an oligarch. So if there's something that somebody from the community or from the culture feels like, hey, you've kind of aligned yourself with us, we've supported you, and this thing right here doesn't really make sense in what you say you align, I think you do owe, especially because of
you don't owe an explanation. You
always owe an explanation to the people that got you there.
So let me tell you this right now. Mm-hmm. Do you feel like you owe anybody explanation for anything you do right now?
Absolutely. There's a bunch of things in my career that I don't do because it would be disingenuous. The people that supported me.
Get you here?
The people that supported me, especially somebody like me.
You know why they support you? Because they feel like you.
Right.
They don't feel you owe them an explanation. Because they're not out here apologizing to nobody. Why should you?
This is where the selective outrage argument don't work. Bleek can say other artists sell products at Target too. That may be true. But JayZ is not just another artist selling merch. JayZ has spent years presenting himself as the blueprint for black ownership, black power, and black business. When you build that image, people are going to measure your moves against that image. That is not unfair. That is the price of being seen as more than a rapper. JayZ can't be the symbol of black economic power when it's time to sell products, then become just a regular businessman when the community has questions about your partner. That is the contradiction. And Bleek made it worse because he defended the deal like loyalty was enough. And Bleek made it worse because he defended the deal like loyalty was enough. Loyalty to JayZ don't explain why black consumers should ignore their own boycott. Loyalty to Roc Nation don't explain why Target was the right partner at this moment. Bleek kept talking like people who question the deal don't understand money. No, some people understand money perfectly. That's the reason that they boycott. A boycott is money talk. It is the community saying, if you want our dollars, you have to respect our concerns. Bleek acted like the only money that mattered was JayZ's money. That is how you sound out of touch.
So don't worry about us.
Look, the Target deal is important because I hit up both of these dudes when that episode came. I said, "Oh, y'all gotta look
selective.
But look,
rage.
But look, no, not
everybody album is available vinyl.
So why wouldn't Hope say, "Hey, I don't have control."
He don't have to. He don't owe you no explanation, my nigga.
That's where we split ways.
Well, that's gonna forever be that, my nigga. Y'all sounded like the old lady in the window. Why y'all outside 3 a.m. loud? We gotta tell her we selling drugs. That's why.
No, I don't. I don't get the correlation there.
She want to know why we outside late doing what we do. You want to know why he did what he did. We owe none of y'all no explanation. We selling drugs.
No. The difference is you didn't. Unless you paying that old lady rent or whatever the case may be,
he not paying your rent.
Right. We the community at large. The community at large support a Hov. The community at large support a Hov.
You're not paying his rent.
Again, the community at large supported Hov. Hov gets to where he's at because the community supported him.
First of all, the community know about money right now because of Hov. Right? Would still be running around picking boogers, wiping them on the camera screen if it wasn't for Hov and B.I.G. Let's clear it up, man.
I'm not saying entertain lives.
You gotta explain Target to the community of who? Who is this community?
Those
Twitter,
who are not.
They don't even exist.
Yeah, but that's the lazy part. There's real people out here. Target.
Where they at?
What did I send y'all? When Target, when the
Target thing. Sorry, go. We just had a Target event in Soho. Was the protesters out there?
Sure wasn't.
All right.
They should have been.
Though.
They should have been.
They on X with the picket.
Listen now. Listen. Now watch this. Target just reported their last 5-year numbers. The last 3 years since the protests have been happening, they're down 3.4 billion. Mm-hmm. So it's happening in real life.
This is why the yes man talk got louder. Bleek didn't sound like an independent thinker defending a position. He sounded like a man running defense for JayZ because that's what he always does. He compared the radio host to the old lady screaming out the window about the guy selling drugs. And he described it in a way that made the lady screaming look annoying. Hey, we just trying to sell products. That is the same principle people were already talking about when the Tony Yayo conversation came up. Bleek don't want people to see him as JayZ's dependent. But when JayZ gets criticized, Bleek jumps out there like a corporate shield. That is why this interview backfired. He wanted to look like a boss. He ended up looking like a spokesman. And the worst part is, he wasn't even a good spokesman. A good spokesman knows how to respect the people he is trying to persuade. Bleek talked down to us. That's a big difference. He didn't help JayZ's argument at all. He made it look like Roc Nation wants the community's support without the community's questions. And that is exactly why people get tired of hip-hop elites. They say it's the culture when they want attention. They say it's business when they want to avoid accountability. Bleek walked straight into their problem. He made it sound like black activism is only valid when it doesn't interfere with black capitalism. That sounded like his real position. Because if the culture helped make the brand powerful, then the culture has the right to question how the brand moves. JayZ can make whatever deal he wants to. Target can sell his vinyl if it wants to. Bleek can defend his friend all he wants. But nobody gets to act like black people are wrong for asking why a black cultural icon is doing business with a company that we are actively pushing back against. That question is fair. And Bleek made himself look crazy by acting like he was annoyed by the question. So I'm gonna take y'all out like this. Memphis Bleek tried to help JayZ, but he actually made JayZ look more crazy. He dismissed the boycott. He talked down on people's questions. He made money sound more important than the people who gave Rockefeller his power. And that is why this interview embarrassed his ass. You cannot defend black capitalism by disrespecting black activism. Because once the money makes you talk down to people, you ain't giving them the blueprint no more. You just telling them to stand outside while the deal gets done. But hey, that's just my opinion. What's yours? Like, comment, subscribe, establish rich. I'll be back with another one. Peace.